Um, well, this is the guy that, where the rubber meets the road. And when I walked into Ricardo Morales's office and saw his bike parked behind his desk, I knew I had a friend and a strong bike advocate who personally experiences the challenges of biking to work. He began by developing a vision for citywide bike ped access, enlisting the input from community members and seeking grant funding. He was quickly promoted to his present position as Commissioner of Public Services, and the city took on a new look. After his first pilot redesign of the main street was met with a lot of pushback, he expanded the route, incorporated the feedback, enlisted the support of important stakeholders, police and fire departments, ambulance services, and store owners. While the redesign was a contentious political focus in the recent city elections, Ricardo remained steadfast in his commitment to making the city bike friendly. He narrows the traffic lanes and increases shoulders as the city repaves. He ensures that all new major city projects comply with the city's commitment to complete streets. With the support of Mayor Linda Tyre and Community Development Director Deanna Rufa, Ricardo's positive spirit and engineering, oh, you don't have a picture, yeah. Whoops. Oops. I can't fix that. Positive spirit and engineering skills will continue to make Pittsfield a bike-friendly place. I would like to thank MassBike for highlighting Pittsfield's efforts and giving Ricardo this opportunity to share his skills and experiences. Am I still on here?
Yes, we got you, Marge.
I am. Well, hola, Ricardo.
Hola. Hello, thanks, Marge, for that. Thanks for that introduction. You make it sound like I have a wand and I can conjure bike lanes. Thanks everyone at MassBike for having me this opportunity. Now I'll ask that everyone listening indulge me for a couple minutes as I talk about a few things. I'll call it a brain dump. But it all, for me, it all started a bit more than a decade ago, while I was still in college finishing my engineering degree. I came across a book called Green Metropolis by David Owens. Maybe you know which one that is, maybe not. I recommend it. At that point, my whole perception about the world changed right there. At that moment, I began to immerse myself into the fascinating world of population density, access theory, ecological footprint, city planning, and all that entails. What I didn't know at that time was how all of those things will one day be the main focal point of my role with a small city government. At some point in my career, I began adopting a way of thinking that goes something like this. For some in this world to live in a 3-bedroom house on a half-acre land and use a motor vehicle to move around, which admittedly is pretty much an average way of living in this country, it means others must live in an apartment in the center of a city, a dense city, and walk or bike to get where they need to go. And so, we live in a world with finite resources. And for that reason, our cities are the greenest places we have come up with. I am a strong believer in that a small and medium-sized city strikes a good balance in that polarized reality. That's why I chose to live and work in Pittsfield, a small city with a great potential to reducing the ecological footprint of its residents. With that in mind, and with the help of my team and other outside organizations, we're actively moving the needle towards sustainable cityscape, implementing complete streets projects, not only when funded by the state, but with every project we aim for, using it as a policy and a standard. Working with great organizations like Berkshire Regional Planning Commission, the Berkshire Bike Path Council, and MassBike to educate our residents and moving forward the implementation of our bicycle facilities master plan. All those things working together to promote this way of living. Change is hard to accept, especially by a community like Pittsfield, which suffered from a large population downturn after GE left in the 80s and 90s. But I think as a beacon of progress, Pittsfield is leading the way in transportation for the future in Berkshire County. Transportation for everyone through mobility equity projects. We ensure that our streets are safer and that access is possible even if you do not drive. This is very important. Our demographics indicate a large amount of households with no motor vehicles, and these are also linked to economically challenged families. That would normally be a good statistic to portray if we also had a robust transportation system that could accommodate that type of demographic. I find that transportation equity enables access equity, which in turns enables economic equity. So in the screen, you have a few images, and I'll start now. Over the past 3 years, Pittsfield has almost doubled the buffered or protected bike lanes that we have, which weren't many. So that's easy to do, to double it. And an additional 60 miles are being planned at the moment. The city has been working and continues to work with the state to extend the Ashawiltikuk Rail Trail by 2 miles into the city. That's the image you were seeing, and the image you're seeing right now is the work we're finalizing, soon to be inaugurated. The first extension will soon, like I said, be inaugurated, and design work is underway for the second extension, adding a total of 2 miles to the already existing 11-mile trail that extends from Adams. Pittsfield is diligently working with the state to ensure future state projects act as an amplifier to our plans for the rail trail. And so the state is designing a 1.5-mile shared use path extension that will bring the rail trail closer to downtown Pittsfield. Our most recent streetscape revitalization project is about to break ground in the spring, and with it, new bicycle infrastructure to a neighborhood that has elementary schools, shops, housing, and is flanked by 2 of the largest employers in the region, General Dynamics and Berkshire Medical Center. Most recently, and taking advantage of the state's Shared Streets program, we implemented road diets on North Street, the main street of our downtown, and converted the lane into a double buffered bike lane in each direction. Bike activity increased immediately, and although it has been received with mixed emotions, it is widely recognized as successful. From day one, my team and I worked with emergency response agencies to avoid future clashes and to demonstrate a sense of inclusion. We also gave several talks to business owners and took in the comments from the initial pilot installation. We recognize that most adult bike activity in Pittsfield is related to commuting rather than recreation. For that reason, the city is committing to improving 42 miles in the next 5 years, the easy, quote unquote, way by redistributing the uses in the paved streets. Pittsfield resurfaces approximately 9 miles of streets every year. This means that using our master plan, we are able to balance the uses of our streets as we improve the street surface. There are many other details and projects I will not be able to mention tonight, but I hope the point getting through is that Pittsfield is choosing to have an active role in promoting a healthier, safer, happier way of living. Thank you all for listening.